I was born and raised in France. My parents are from Pennsylvania, and so they moved to France about 35 years ago to start a church in Dijon, France, because there were none. If you want to see on a map, if you locate Paris, Dijon is about 3.5 hours south. If you have a jar of mustard at home, that's my hometown. I was born there, grew up there, went, to French school, public school, all the things. And I was the only believer in most of my contexts, except for my brother. Our church started in our living room, and we had students, from all over the world coming in and just learning about the Bible. And so, but in my mind, that was my parents' thing, and it was awesome, but it wasn't for me because I didn't really fit the quote-unquote profile that I had in mind. So I went to college, south of France, getting my MBA, and that's really where I recommitted my life to Christ. I was far away from my church, my family, and at that point I had to decide if that faith was really my own or just something I had learned. And God really challenged me, to that, and his question was, okay, do you believe in me? And if you do, you need to be consistent. What you say and what you do need to align. Long story short, I said yes, recommitted my life to Christ. And so part of that was then what he said was, if you say yes to this, your choices from now on will be taking me into account. I will be your first priority. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Didn't know what that meant at the time. And so I really started thinking about what was next. It felt like something was coming and I didn't know what that was. I'm full-time with Encompass as of this year, so brand new. But I get to visit all our teammates around the world in Asia, Europe, and Africa, and help them develop their ministry. And so essentially it's putting together different cultures, different contexts. What is a culture like? What are their cultural values? What's important to people? And then who are our missionaries? What are their skills? What are their passions? And how can we bring all of that together to reach people who do not know Christ? Missions work is so amazing because you literally get to see people change, God change lives. But it is also so hard because there's rejection, there's discouragement, there's spiritual warfare, there are all these things. And so part of my role is sitting with, our teammates and listening to how amazing and how hard that is. And I know what that feels like because I was the only believer in my context. So I know to some extent what they're going through and can empathize with them. And I want to because the world needs Christ and we need these people to persevere and move on and just continue their work.